Were
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Explaining the Unexplainable. And this is a show tonight that it's a long time coming. We are excited, super excited to have our amazing and beautiful guest here tonight, Miss Lala Bright. And Lala, I'm going to wait just a second before we do much more because I want our Bishop Joshua, Dr. Joshua Sparks, to give you the best intro ever because he's so good at that.
Yes.
Take it away, Joshua.
well, see, I almost need to practice. It seems like it's been so long since we've done this. But I want to start by saying that there are nights when the veil doesn't seem just thin; it ripples. When the atmosphere feels charged, like the air itself is holding its breath. Tonight is one of those nights because tonight we welcome someone whose very presence seems to bend the edges of the ordinary. Lala Bright, a woman whose life reads like a collision between the natural and the supernatural, the seen and the unseen, the earthly and the otherworldly. Imagine walking into a room and feeling the temperature shift. Imagine dreams that bleed into walking reality. Imagine intuition so sharp it feels like a radio tuned into a frequency most people don't even know exists. That's the world Lala lives in. You know, Mercedes brings the investigative fire. I bring the theological lens, but Lala brings the experience, raw, unfiltered, and impossible to ignore. She's encountered things that defy categories. She has seen what others dismiss. She has lived through moments that make you question everything you thought you understood about the natural and the supernatural realm. And tonight, she's here with us to pull back the curtain. Welcome, Lala. I'm glad you're here with us again tonight.
That was amazing. Oh my God. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna
You're
play
no
that back over and
stranger.
over.
What's that?
I said I'm gonna play that back over and over to like boost my
I know that's why he comes up with the most beautiful words. They just want to make you cry. Now I do hear some
I hear it too.
feedback. So Stan the man, if you're there, maybe there's something you could help us with. We don't know. We're just
It's
here
not
with.
me.
I don't know if it's me, but anyway, we'll just maybe Stan can fix it from his end, and Lala, I think we can still hear you great. So go ahead and just kind of tell us a little bit about what you're doing now, and a little bit about yourself first,
Okay.
because we want to know about you.
All right. Well, psychic experiencer, so was my dad. Lately I've been very much into my art world, so my business, face painting, all that. My son now helps me. He's 16 and 6 foot, so he helps me. He's my business partner. Um, but lately, a lot of it was real quiet for a couple months, and then lately, a lot of activity has been happening, so it's pulling me back into everything again. And when you said about a radio frequency, it was about a couple weeks ago. I was sitting in the living room, and I've never heard something like this before. I've heard, the little ringing and here and there when a spirit comes by, but this was literally sounded like a radio was changing channels. And I then heard a man's voice. I didn't hear what he said, but I heard a man's voice. And I've never heard that in my life. So strange, interesting things have been happening lately. My friend and I have been waking up with similar bruises on the same part of our bodies on the same days. Not always, but sometimes lately it's been happening a lot. So we don't know what's going on with that either. Um, Visitation dreams with messages. Just a lot of things all at once. It's starting to pick up quite a bit. So
Isn't that weird how you can have these times where there's like nothing, and then all of a sudden it comes back again? And sometimes I wonder, like, is that because of the stress? Maybe we're having some extra stress. Are you having a little more extra stress in your life, or have things calmed down in your life? Because I think sometimes they come around when there's more stress sometimes.
Actually, you know what? I agree with that. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, every time I do get more stressed about something, I get more visitation or more dreams with messages. I didn't even think about that. You're right. Yes.
It's kind of like when the storm hits the ocean, the waves respond even though the wind's invisible. So there's something definitely going on that's causing this activity around you.
Oh yeah. Like oh hi Marty.
Hey,
Oh.
Marty.
Recently, what I'm kind of on a mission about finding out about the Zulu tribe. I had a dream recently. It was a tall, thin man in the forest with very large orbs around him, and he spoke to the orbs about me, and he said she doesn't know she's Zulu. Now, at first, I thought when I woke up, I thought he said she is Zulu. So I looked up is Zulu, and it led me to the Bantu tribe. But then I found out there actually is a Zulu tribe, and that leads into aliens. I mean, they believed in aliens and all kinds of stuff. It actually means sky people, or I mean, it's very interesting. So I'm going down that road, and also I've read that a lot of people that are supposed to be shamans get this similar dream. And my dad was a Reiki healer, so I don't know. I'm interested in what I learn, really.
That's interesting that you found that they were about the people in the sky, or they were travelers. But that's what when you told me that the other day, I thought, no, yeah, that's. I mean, it's like they're giving you these messages uh, and sharing, and I think they give you the messages so you then can do the investigation, because they can't give us everything. It's I think it's fun for us to investigate.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's
definitely.
like
I'm on a mission. I enjoy it. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But every night before bed, I always say, if you have a message, please. This is what I say every night. I say, please tell me who I truly am, why I'm truly here, and how I can help. I say how I can help my creator that created me out of love. And I sometimes I get message dreams and sometimes I don't, but lately it's been picking up. So and I told him, it's like, I am dense. You have to spell it out what you want me to look up because I'm not going to get it if you don't. So yeah.
I love that. My boss, who was my mentor for so long, he's the one that really kind of helped me when I couldn't walk, and then I went to walk with him, work with him. Um, he would say to me that he says, please make it so simple that I can't help but know what you're trying to say, because I'm not that smart, or so like, so that so clear that the message that God's bringing in, God creator's bringing in, is
Right.
just clear. I love that you do that. I think it's me. I don't know.
Well, I want to add something to that. Just
Okay.
when people dream of beings, claiming ancient tribal spirits or extraterrestrial intelligences, I just want to say it's rarely random. What I mean by that is dreams like this usually point to one of three realms: psychological, symbolic, and the spiritual.
Mhm.
And we talk about that. We talk about what I call, or what is normally called, ancestral archetype contact. And dreams involving a specific tribe, like the Zulu, um, while sometimes it may not be like a literal ancestor speaking, it may represent like a heritage memory, some kind of a collective consciousness, or rather a collective unconscious symbols. Have you seen any symbols, like when you wake up, is there any symbols like that appear on your body in the form of bruising or the form of markings? And sometimes it's what we call cultural archetypes or strength, like a warrior identity or a type of protection. Because the Zulu, as you know in your studies, they were warriors. They practiced what we call ancestral reverence. They had spiritual guardianship, and they were the guardians of dreams and visions in their culture. Um, so when you said that, it reminded me of people because I've talked to a lot of people that have had similar dreams, and that Zulu imagery was there to communicate something about identity, protection, or calling, and that's what you're talking about. I mean, more or less, and so it's really interesting that you're dreaming these things, and because a lot of people have dreams similar to this, so it's very unique.
Yeah.
How long have you been having these dreams?
This particular one or visitation dreams, do you mean?
Well, this particular about the Zulu.
Okay, well, the last couple of months I've had African American or African people visit me in my dreams, which is unusual because usually I don't, right?
Mhm.
And before this happened, I had about 2 weeks before I had the Zulu dream. It was a African couple, man and woman, and they had head wraps and very long outfits to the floor. And they walked up to me smiling, and I felt like they were family. It was just such a nice feeling because usually people don't smile in my dreams. And they had butterflies around them. And they put my head back, and I opened my mouth, and this black fog started coming out, and it started to shape the form of a man's head. And I started to pray in my dream, and I was asking God for help for me and my son, and I said my future. And when I woke up, my head was leaned all the way back, and my mouth was wide open and dry, so it had been like that for a while, I guess. And a week before that dream, I woke up to a man saying, "I need an exorcism." So I think they were doing like a getting me ready for the message, like maybe a spiritual cleansing. I don't know, but I know they were all connected.
Wow, it's pretty interesting.
I I have that happens to be a lot in the morning. They'll just start talking right before I wake up, and I'll hear like a complete sentence or voices
Right.
always in the morning. And I think it's because I used to, be so open at work all the time and back in those days. And so now at home, it's a little different. So I think the morning is my quiet time.
Mm.
And so, I mean, even my mom, like on my birthday that time, last birthday, my mom said something to me on my birthday. She
Oh.
said my name.
I remember
And
that.
yeah, so but it was right before I wake up. So that I think that's interesting they do that with you too, Lala, because not everybody tells me that happens.
Right. I think that we're asleep enough for our ego to be, and maybe just for me, my ego to be out of the way so I can get the message, and then awake enough to remember what they said. So it's that special part where they can get to us easy, because it's so hard to get to us otherwise. We have so many things going on around us when we're awake. So,
That's true. And we're so connected to this world when we're awake that we don't pay
I'm
any
gonna take.
attention to things that go on in the supernatural usually. Now, the last couple of days, from Saturday all the way through till this morning, I was under an attack, really, a real strong attack. I don't know if someone tried to hex or vex me or put a curse on me or what it was, but the power of it was destroyed off of my life. So, the spiritual world is very powerful,
Hmm.
and we have to be aware of what type of spirits we're dealing with, too. It's uh, to protect yourself and to protect the people you love. We deal with a lot of things on the unseen realm um, that get angry when we provide information or we expose something. And we're talking about beings that exist outside of time and space that are very powerful and way smarter than human beings,
Hmm.
um, and know how to communicate to us and talk with us. But not all spirits are malevolent. Some are benevolent. And they communicate with us in many various different ways. Um, and dreams, are one of the ways that they communicate to us because our body is disconnected from the natural. So it's so much easier for there to be communication in the supernatural part of man, into the man's spirit, when we're in a dream state. Um, and I've had lots of experiences where I've received communication, in dreams and things of that nature. Um, and it's kind of like when we go to sleep, we're in that deep sleep. We're free from all the chains of the flesh, the natural flesh, and we are more receptive to things supernatural. I'd like to see more things while I'm awake, but like you said, we're so connected to the world around us, doing work, doing our job or whatever. But it's hard to get connected to things spiritual. Sometimes it's hard to feel spiritual because of the weight of the things that pull at us in this world.
That's true. And I think all like our phones and TVs and electric lines and cars, I mean, it's just messes our signals up, I think, usually.
It definitely messes with our frequencies and our vibration.
Well, I have a question. I know that bruises are not always a good thing, but sometimes do you think, because I'm trying to read about this and why people wake up with bruises, especially on the left side. Do you think that if a spirit touches you and they don't mean to hurt you, that they can leave an imprint? Like, is it always bad, or is it sometimes just, are they leaving a message, or?
Well, I mean, there's different instances. Now, from my experience, I mean, we've seen different symbols, different things come up on people's bodies that when you study the symbology behind the symbol, the meaning behind the symbol, a lot of times in my experience as an exorcist, it hasn't been benevolent. There was some kind of a manifestation taking place. And I'm not saying that's what you're experiencing, because sometimes I think that bruises and stuff like that happen to us sometimes have a very verifiable explanation. When it comes to me, sometimes I'll get up and hit my head or fall and trip over something. So it may not remember doing it if I have to get up and go to the bathroom or whatever. So I'm not saying all bruises are spiritual manifestations. But the thing that happens, though, is in my line of work as an exorcist, bruising appears that there's some kind of a manifestation through the body, some kind of a manifestation of the supernatural. And we got to remember, spirits don't have physical muscles, but because the human body reacts violently to that spiritual pressure, things like that appear. And during manifestation, sometimes your body spins violently, sometimes they contort. Sometimes, like I said, they strike surfaces, experience sudden pressures on the limbs, undergo involuntary muscle contractions, and these bruises happen without you remembering any physical impact. Now, we talk about pressure from entities, and in rare cases, bruises appear in patterns. Now, I don't know if you've been noticing, is there any kind of symmetrical bruising, any kind of patterns to the bruisings that's on your body?
Yeah. It'll either be a V or two perfect circles, or there was a triangle with 3 dots, and then lately it's been 2 dots, one on top of the other, and in an area of my upper body that I don't think I could hit, is what I'll say. And then my friend had the same one recently. So
they're experiencing the same bruising as you.
What's that?
They're experiencing the same things you're experiencing in the same place on your body.
Yeah. And we've been best friends for over 20 years, and she's a psychic too. So she feels like she's had some visitations lately.
Well, I'm not. Excuse me. The thing that when I think we lost Mercedes. I'm not sure what happened. Hey, Lon, welcome on here tonight, my brother. Sometimes it can be benevolent, but sometimes it can also be some kind of a shared spiritual targeting. When two people are connected emotionally, spiritually, or relationally, and develop identical bruising, it can often indicate that they're being targeted by the same spirit. So a triangle is not a natural bruise shape. And the reason I say that, it suggests intent and not accident. So, I mean, not many people that have had bruises on their bodies have ever had a bruise normally in the shape of a triangle or a shape of a circle with little circles above it. I mean, it's just not something that naturally happens. And I just want to say this, and this is just from my own personal experience. Um, this can happen when both individuals open the same spiritual door. Uh, when you were both present during some type of a spiritual event, both of you being sensitive or gifted, like you said, and maybe there's some kind of a resistance going on. Maybe you're having these dreams, and maybe there's some kind of an inner resistance inside of you with your own spirit that's causing these bruises while you're asleep. You
I
ever thought
want
about
to
that?
before you go on anymore. I wanted to say that there is some interference people are hearing on the chat. So Stan has said that when he mutes your mic, Lala, it goes away. So I'm
Oh
wondering
no.
if you could. Is there anything happening in the background of your area?
My fish tank makes noise, but no, everything's turned off. But
Well,
I've never used my phone before, so maybe it's my phone.
it sounds like there's a conversation going.
Oh my God, don't say that.
No, it's what it is, Lala. It's our voices feeding back over into the.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay. That
Yeah,
makes
that's what it
sense.
is. There's no. It's. We were explaining the unexplainable.
But I'm not going to sleep
Great.
tonight. No. All right. Well, if it's, I mean, my friend Michelle, she does have a laptop. If you want to reschedule, I can use the
Oh no.
laptop.
No.
No. I just want everyone to know that we're trying to figure it out.
Oh,
I've
sorry.
already turned everything off and I've been checking it. So I'm talking with Stan. And um, the one thing we could try is if you shut down and come back on.
I could try that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
try because sometimes that works on the unseen realm. We always have weird things happening on that. Usually we don't on this show. So
Okay.
try that and we'll come back. I
Don't
just
forget,
did.
Mercedes. I just came out of a spiritual battle, so you never know. It could be affecting the electronics too.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
the enemy tried to kill me.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, oh, do I hit the red button?
I think
Do
you
I?
just can just get out,
Well,
like
here's what she can do. Also, instead of leaving us,
okay.
you can look on the bottom of your screen where you're live, and you should see the microphone. You can push the little microphone to mute, and then when you get ready to talk, then you can
Okay.
push it again.
Oh, that's true. Well, then we can't hear. Oh, then
That
we
way,
can,
that way you don't have to leave and come back.
yeah.
See, us old guys.
It's
I got this.
something we
I
can
got this right
improv.
here for a reason.
Yes. Well, while she's over there and she can't talk right now, I want to tell everybody that she has had many experiences, and we've had her on the show before, so there are many things that Lala that have happened to Lala. So everything that she is talking about or that she is, it comes from the complete truth of who she is, and she is a very gifted person.
Yes,
She
yes.
actually she was I put her she's in my book, one of my books, and I kind of had a little investigation with she and Ann Bender, and they helped me with this one case. And so I just really think she's an amazing remote viewer, and I really cannot say enough about her gifts and talents. And it was what I felt was interesting was when we had three different people, and so we all looked into it separately. No one was telling anybody what they saw, or it was not provided for us. And Lala and I were seeing the same things. And I mean, how's that possible? So that means we're like, I felt really connected to her at that time. Like we were seeing the same images or similar images. So she's
That is
very
really cool.
gifted. So now you can come back and talk, Lala, and I'll be quiet.
Today's Ann's birthday.
Happy
I saw
birthday.
that. Her picture.
No. Oh,
Happy birthday, Ann. And she says this.
by the way, Lon is in the chat room. If you want.
Yeah, I see him come on there. We need to get Lon back on here too.
Yes, we can put them both on together. That would
That'd
be
be cool.
fun. And
I'd
hopefully
like to catch up with Lon and see what Lon's been seeing here lately.
and I was saying to Lala, he is with the same team, with Kadrosha and the New Jersey. I always call him New Jersey, Jersey Shore Entertainment, and so I hope that his project is coming along well. Lon, we hope that yours really takes off excellently and goes smoothly. Ours is having a little difficulty, and I was explaining to Lala yesterday that there's a lot of people that we have a lot of cases for exorcism, but people don't like to talk about their exorcisms. They don't like to talk
Well,
about their cases. It's
it's
private.
reliving the trauma of it all over again. And
Yeah.
for the last, well, I've been with Archbishop for many years, and for nearly the last 50 years, it's been a very private, up until the time we started doing the podcast, it's a very private thing. Um, we don't take any cameras into the room when we perform the rite of exorcism. Because we don't want to exploit the people. They're already going through enough. So it's very, very touchy situation, but there are some that are willing to talk and share, and anonymity is important as long as they're not seen, or, even if we can get someone to read their part or, play that person and share their story. I think that would be something that we could look at doing. I'm still working with a lot of the bishops to try to get them to cooperate. We've had some that say they will, so we're hopefully we'll be able to get something. It's I don't know. You're like you said, Mercedes. It's kind of a touchy situation, and hopefully we'll get it resolved sooner or later. I know that this is something that Archbishop is really excited about. And, he's my mentor, and I want to do everything I can to help him see his desires come to fruition. And I think if we all help each other, we can do what we need to do to be successful in getting our messages out there. Just like with this program that we have, Explaining the Unexplainable, when Mercedes asked me to come on, I just was ecstatic about it. And I'm so glad that I'm here. I've got to meet so many wonderful people like you, Lala. And it's been a great blessing to me because we've had some really great conversations, over the past, I don't know how long we've been doing this now.
Well, I think it's been at least a solid year for you and I now.
Has it really?
Yeah, and then it was 3 years with the other show for me. So, yeah, and then 2 years with the Unseen Realm.
Have we been on Unseen Realm that long? Wow.
Yes. That's
Well, no
amazing.
wonder I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah. So, and I'm so thankful we met Lala. We met Lala from these podcasts. So, and I enjoyed that one that we did, Lala, with the children, with the autism children. I thought that was really neat when we all did that one together. That was nice. Anne was in that one too. I just got a message from her, so just in case she's watching again, happy birthday to Ann Bender.
Happy birthday. And I would sing for you in the auspices of Elvis Presley, but I'm not feeling too much like him tonight. Happy birthday.
So, Joshua, do you have any specific questions that you thought of for Lala? That I know you always come up with amazing questions.
Well, we were talking when you disappeared on us, when you played Casper the Friendly Ghost and left the room.
I was trying to make the sound get better.
Well, we were talking about the matching bruises that were the same, identical bruises on her and her friend. And
I have something. I think it's because if they're matching, it's definitely something about those two matching.
Well,
it has. So go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just saying, have you ever considered it could be some kind of a signature, like a spirit marking territory? You gotta unmute yourself. Just push your mic. Now say something. Can't hear you. hit your mic button again.
Here, hold up.
Now.
Oh.
Oh no, Stan, help. Help. We can't hear her.
Can you hear me now?
There you are. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. No, I told Michelle, I said, I actually made that joke last night that there was one particular entity like branding us for fun, or I just, because it's so weird. But me and her, when we're together, especially when we were younger, in our 20s, we would see the weirdest things. She's the one, remember I told you guys that I was with a friend driving and we saw that huge UFO and that's her. And we saw the bottom, it looked like big plumbing together and the helicopter
Okay.
that's her. So we see weird stuff all the time. Um, and recently, the past 3 years, she's been more open. She's always been open about the paranormal, but now she's more open about other types of beings also. And so she's getting more activity in her home because of that. So,
So now let me ask you this. Had she been experiencing this prior to you coming to stay with her? So when you come, it kind of like,
yeah. Yeah. Well,
la la.
yeah. Well, look, I mean, she'll always remember me. So that's a plus, right?
Well, you all might go out in the backyard to do a barbecue and might get taken up in a spacecraft and twisted outer space to see the universe. You never know.
It'll be an experience for us. No, you know what? She that I didn't even think about that. She really didn't have anything like that before. But why would that happen to someone I think besides one other person, she's the closest, besides my baby, of course, Xander. Why would that happen to someone I'm close with? What do you guys think?
Well, have you went through some type of trauma with her? Any kind of a life changing event? Anything happened between you all, like through a mutual friend or relative? You said you seen this UFO together. Was there any kind of loss of time?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that could be a connection there.
Okay.
Because sometimes when there's a loss of time, just like what was the gentleman's name that the movie Fire in the Sky was made about? Travis Walton said
Hmm.
that he was driving, and I think it was his fiance, and she was pregnant, and they seen this craft go over top of them, and they lost 2 hours worth of time. And when they went to the doctor after the fact, the baby was gone. I think the placenta and everything was still in the body, but the baby was gone. And they had lost the sense of time. So maybe there was some kind of connection to that. Travis Walton, after he was taken up in the woods there, he was logging, had
Yeah.
several experiences after that. I'd love to get Travis on here. He's a hard man to get a hold of. Um, but when you lose time like that, there's something that happens. And somewhere in your subconscious mind, Lala, that event's there. Now, how do you unlock it? That's a good question. That would be a Dr. Adrian question.
I would love to know, honestly.
Dr. Adrian could probably help you
Okay.
dig in your subconscious to find that, because he does all kinds of different types of therapy, hypnotherapy,
Okay.
different things like that. Well, so does Archbishop. So I think either one of those could help you. One of those men could help you. But I think it's important to note that and to keep that in your mind as you're thinking about all these things. That connection there.
Right.
And you said y'all are like sisters, so
Hmm.
I mean, when you're close to somebody, oftentimes I've heard this said, and I know that it sounds weird because when you say it, a lot of people think, there's no way. When you're a soulmate to somebody, it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be the opposite sex.
I agree. Yeah.
I had a soulmate that was a minister. He passed away back in 2016, but he was a soulmate. We were like kind of knit together at the heart. And when he died, it really affected me. And every year on the day that he died, it's very significant to me because I know that a person that I was connected with spiritually, is no longer here. But maybe that's the reason why y'all are so connected together is because you're soulmates.
I agree with that. I think there's different types of soulmates. I do. So, and I feel that we are because we have. It's just that feeling of knowing. The second we met each other, it was just like I know you. I don't know why I know you, but I do, and we're gonna be best friends whether you like it or not, kind of thing, you know. And plus, you know, we both lost people in our family, kind of around the same time as well. So we had that going on too. A lot of things we've been through in life happened a few months to a year later to us. So it's odd actually. So
That's very interesting. You know, it's interesting how that you meet somebody. You know, like you said, it's kind of like deja vu. You meet somebody and you talk to them, you're like, I know this person. I've known this person a long time. We've had this conversation somewhere before.
mm,
And it's like you relive it. And as you're living it, you're reliving something you've already experienced. I know I'm not the only one that's experienced that, right?
mm,
I think we all have.
oh yeah. Do you think that do you believe in past lives or do you think it's just our energies remembering each other here in the physical?
Well, I think that now, from a theological point of view, I don't. From a theological point of view, but from a theological point of view, I also know that uh, spirit's energy, it's eternal.
Mm,
So there's a connection that we all have with each other through God that's very special. And, you know, when we're put in a body, it's kind of like energy as it's directed into a house through a meter base and through a disconnect, and it comes into the house. You couldn't allow all the electricity from the electric pole to come into the house; it would just blow it up.
mm,
And there's that regulatory device put on that energy, and that's what happens to us in the physical body. But when we leave this physical body, we become that full-fledged energy again because there's nothing physical holding us to this realm.
yeah.
So you know, I'm open-minded. I don't have all the answers about everything, and I'm still learning.
Mm,
Of course, we've done enough shows and listened to enough podcasts over the years that Art Bell, George Norrie, you know, and they've talked about this stuff for 30 years.
mm,
Uh, and you can't. And here's the one thing that we have to really be careful of: we can't deny people's experiences.
mm,
You know, you've experienced these things, and nobody can deny that. And we know you personally. We know that you are telling the things that you've experienced, and you know that to be true.
yeah.
And I think it's important that you have a place that you're able to talk about these things and feel comfortable talking about it.
Thank you. It's nice. I mean, for very most of my life, I didn't share this at all, you know, and so it's nice. It took me a little bit to get used to this for the first couple of years recently, but and still a little bit now. But it's so relieving. I mean, I guess it's therapeutic in a way to have someone I know care. You guys care, you know, and it's nice to just let it out because that weighs down on you a lot. Just to hold all those strange things that we're taught isn't real, you know. So it's nice, and I'm glad other people can listen in, and they might not want to talk about it, but they can at least know that they're not alone in whatever they're going through, or that they can go to people. So
Right.
Yeah, because it used to have a lot of taboo. You know, people looked at us like we were crazy,
mm,
um, especially when I start talking about things that I've seen in the sky and what you've seen in the sky and different pictures we've taken and videos we've shared. And it's a wonder we haven't had somebody knocking on our door saying, "Hey, let me see your phone. You got to erase those videos." I'd be like, "No, it's my phone, my property. Get out of here." No Men in Black showed up yet. Have they showed up at your house yet, Lala?
I mean, you know, some of the things that we've all talked about, and I've been a little nervous, but I guess we're not super interesting. I don't to certain people, which is good. I don't want the Men in Black coming to my house. Honestly, I'm good. So
With this alien disclosure, maybe they've all been laid off.
I I personally, I think they're just kind of, was it the breadcrumb? They're just leading people on a little bit. I don't think they're actually going to come out with anything magnificent. I mean, the things are already here. We know they're already here. They've been here for a long time. And if I've seen stuff and you've seen stuff, I know they've seen more than just a little tic tac thingy. So
Yeah.
come on, I don't know. I think they're just gonna. I think they don't want people to freak out, and plus they would lose control over a large group of people because people would realize a lot more that's going on in our world.
Right.
They're not about to lose control.
Mm,
And
true.
then, Bishop Joshua, I think it's very interesting, in his area where literally he's seen a family of Bigfoot,
Hmm.
you know, and that's common. And the more people we hear from, even with Lon, all the phenomena that he documents all these years,
Mm,
and you know, it I know they come through portals. I mean, I see that
mm.
here and have drawn them. So I know very well, like that's for sure. I understand that.
Have you
So
seen a Bigfoot? Have
no,
you
I haven't
personally?
seen a Bigfoot, but
Me
I've
either.
seen the other things that they come through the portals.
Hmm.
So they've got to be coming through the portals, and they can be. I don't know, like Bishop Joshua, you lived by them.
They live
There.
just right up the road from my house. It's been written in a book about it, where I live. A guy that my dad went to school with, graduated with. I'd like to get him on here. He wrote a book about the Sasquatch that he's been documenting for years. That lives right here in my hometown, just a few
Hmm.
miles away from people's houses. I only live an hour and 13 minutes away from Point Pleasant, 62 miles from where the Mothman was first seen. So, you know, and I've been there many times. I seen his statue.
Hmm.
I didn't see the actual Mothman, but I would love to go up there and check out the museum. Um, and I would love to do a show from there. I'd like to broadcast from up there.
So, yeah.
Go do some, investigating. They actually take you out to the TNT area where the Mothman was seen. They do tours from the museum. They have an actual Mothman museum there. It's got some of the props from the Mothman Prophecies movie, the
Hmm.
old newspaper clippings, TV reels, news reports that took place. I'd love to talk to some of the people. I know my dad was interested in demonology back in the 70s and interested in all this stuff. Um, and they went up to Point Pleasant, Mason County, West Virginia, and investigated the Mothman in the 70s. Um, so, not long before I was born, they went up there. And then Dad and them investigated the occult. They went to churches way out in the middle of nowhere where people were supposedly sacrificed to the devil and investigated it and met some interesting people that warned them not to go there, but they went up there anyways. And I thought it was funny. They was getting ready to go up there, and my dad's friend told him about the Bible and the scripture that he come to. Behold, I said you like sheep among wolves. That was the scripture they opened up to. So I think I'd have probably turned the car around and went the other direction, but it's just me. But I love investigating stuff like that. You know what we need to do? We need to put together some kind of a either a Bigfoot or a hominid type. Uh, um, what do they call them? Where a bunch of people get together, a expedition, and we
Oh, I
all
want
go
to
out and
go.
do an
Yeah,
investigation.
I definitely want to go. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. Get Lon involved.
Yep.
Um, have you come out? Um, all of us get together and kind of go to some of these hot spots. I know that when I come out to see Joe and Mercedes, that I've got to go to the extraterrestrial highway and stay at the little alien and go to Area 51, at least get my picture taken by the sign, and at least get some video of me getting harassed by the camo dude. I got to do it.
Where's that? Where at?
Area 51.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, you
Oh
got
my
the right
God.
guy.
I forgot. I wanted to tell you guys real quick about the star aligning with the man-made island. Okay, so I used to live by Martin State Airport, and right next door was Lockheed Martin. and I lived maybe a block or two away. And anyway, I would drive by, and there'd be lots of activity. I mean, I've seen little orbs, big orbs, helicopters following them, a big orb following a personal plane into the place, lots of activity. And I swear to God, I saw something look like a pterodactyl. I don't know what it was, but it was as big as a mini plane, and this thing was going towards Martin State Airport. I swear to God, I saw it. Just once. Anyway, I was driving to Florida to visit my parents, and I stopped in Georgia to get a hotel at like 2 in the morning. And I was just joking with the guy working there, and I said, "Do you have any like ghost or alien stories?" And he said, "Well, actually," and I told him where I was from. He said, "I used to work at Martin State Airport, and he got cancer, his wife got cancer, she passed away, and he retired. But then he looked at me and he said, there's a man-made island behind Martin State Airport that aligns with a certain star," and he winked at me. And for years I didn't know what it was, and I found out it's like, what was it, Sirius? Is that the, and that's a whole nother conspiracy in itself. So he was, and I think these things, whatever I was seeing, might have been coming from there, or maybe they built that island there because there's a landline. I mean, I don't know. There or ley line. There's something back there. I don't know what it is, but I found that really interesting. So that's also a mission I'm on to figure that out.
That's
That
very
is
interesting.
interesting.
Was there a lot of water over there?
Yeah.
There-
Yep.
Yes. So the water is the key, I think.
I think the water is the place we need to be looking, and not the skies. You
Yeah.
remember William Milton Cooper, Bill Cooper? He had to show the hour of the time back in the 90s. He was killed back in the early 2000s in a shootout with deputy sheriffs there where he lived. I think it was in Arizona. He used to have a top security clearance with the militaries and the Navy, and he talked about seeing ships hit the water at 1,000 miles an hour, not even cause a ripple.
I
And
believe it.
he's seen ships coming in and out of the water. So and maybe that's why we haven't explored the water, because we know what's down there.
Hmm. Oh yeah. I think there's all types of different beings. I mean, people say they see what, mermaids or something similar to that. I believe it. I believe there's all kinds of stuff down there. I think they do know more than they're saying, but they want us to look up and not down. So I think it's a whole nother world, really.
I mean, because it's virtually not been, there's no expeditions. They can only go so far. And if you ever look at a drawing or a sonar type picture of the ocean, how deep it really is, it's scary.
Right.
Scary how deep it is.
Well, the one guy, remember on the news, there was a man that said dolphins drug him into the water and they wanted him to build something for them. But then when the doctors like checked him out, he had water from deep in the ocean. It was in his lungs, and they don't know how that happened. I mean, it might have happened. I don't know. It could have really.
Well, I knew a preacher. I didn't know the preacher, but he started it's a big mega church here in my area. And when he started the church back in the 70s, he was taken up in a spacecraft and taken down into the Bermuda Triangle and showed pyramids and showed all kinds of things. And, he asked the beings on this craft, if they believed in Christ. And they said, yeah, he's our God also. We didn't send like you all did. So that's why we have the technology we have. And it wasn't until many, many years later they found those pyramids in the Bermuda Triangle. How would he have known that? There was no computers, no internet back then. I mean, and he was telling us in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just guess stuff like that. So, some people have him off as, they're skeptical, write him off as being crazy. The guy didn't own TV. They didn't believe in television. They didn't even believe in wearing jewelry or believe in women trimming their hair or wearing makeup or anything like that. They were called holiness people. And I don't know why he would make that up.
Right.
And that's another thing, being open-minded to what people experience and not automatically saying, oh my goodness, I can't believe you believe in that. Well, hear them out. give people an opportunity to talk. Don't. That's why God give you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you can listen twice as much as you talk.
Sure.
Lala, what is your plans for the next few months? Have you got some things you're working on? I know your business is taking off, but what tell us about what's going to be happening in your world the next, well, it's already June, the next
I
half
know.
of this year.
Um, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Of course, my business with my son. Something I'd like him to take over, or at least have to fall back if he ever needs to. He'll have some sort of income that he can do easily. He's very good at it. I'd like to. Well, I am in the process. I want to find out more about what these beings want me to find out from my dreams. So I'm trying to learn as much as I can on how to be more available for messages when I sleep. There's got to be a technique I can do. Um, I'm just I'm just taking it easy, honestly. I don't have any big things going on. Um, I'm just I guess I'm in the healing relaxation phase right now. So
Well, it's all right. It's like a plateau. You climb the hill so far, and you got a plateau to let your brain and your body catch up together.
it became so much. I mean, doing for a couple of years, we were doing quite a bit every single day, and it was exhausting after a while. It really was. But then the more tired I got, the less activity there was as well. So the more I backed off a little bit, but now that I'm more open about receiving messages, it's starting to ramp up again. So I think they knew to back off for me so that I didn't get overwhelmed and just too tired. Because, psychically, it just drains you after a while.
Mhm.
So I'm ready again.
Good. I think you're doing the right thing. I mean, I think you're asking and clearing yourself and opening, just make sure you're doing your protection.
Yeah.
So only the good people, I mean, still, they still come in, but it sounds like you're doing the right thing too, where you're saying, you're in command even in your sleep, which is, I think that's good. I like that. You're
Thank
doing
you.
like, I'll end up doing like Lord's Prayer and I'm asleep. If something's I'm just coming to me, I'll say the Lord's Prayer. I'm
Yeah.
like fully awake in my sleep sometimes. So it's very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. Go
It's
ahead.
interesting. It's amazing. I grew up Catholic, but I believe in God. I'm not religious right now, but I believe in God. And if something is truly bothering me in a dream and it's a visitation dream and I'm being harassed, for some reason something in me knows to ask God for help, and then I'll wake up like that. And that to me is amazing, really. I think it's powerful to me because sometimes you lose hope a little bit, just like, well, what's going on? Who's here to help me? But every time I do, so you know.
That's the truth. And I think that the one thing that I'm supposed to be saying is that I've tried all those different ways, but
Mhm.
nothing stops things the way that does. They just do not like the Lord's Prayer at all. When I do the Lord's
Yeah.
Prayer or bring in Jesus, they do not want anything to do with that. So I always feel like that's like a shield of protection. It's wonderful. And I
Hmm.
think it's deep, Bishop Joshua, because you said like, well, those the people that you were talking about in that story said that that's our God too, or that's part of it. And I think with everything going on right now, it really is starting to make you think about like, okay, they are there. I know they're there, but maybe other people are starting to think now, okay, so the God of the universe is actually the same God that we have, so
It's a
it's
creator
a
of the universe.
broader perspective. We need to really think like that. Doesn't matter, it's happening, so we have to
Mhm.
Yeah.
be.
I mean, he's the cosmic glue that holds it all together.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the scripture does say, you believe in one God, you do well, even the devils believe and tremble. So even if it was a malevolent spirit, they would say they believe in God. Um, I've had demons tell me that they're the most holiest saints that there is. That they're inhabiting people's bodies because they're saints and they need a body to live in. I always say, well, you've already had a body to live in. You got to get out of this one. We don't want you here, and this person don't want you here. And it's you mentioned about those geometric shapes, Lala, and oftentimes that shows spirits communicating something. It's not merely an attack. And you mentioning triangles really kind of got my mind thinking because you know sometimes when we're attacked, spirits often mock or invert what we call holy symbols because, like, the triangle can represent the Holy Trinity or the ancient Christian iconography or divine order. And I've seen in my ministry times triangles are used. They can be used to mock the Trinity or to claim dominance or to intimidate or to counterfeit divine authority. So let me ask you this. This is an important question. Does the triangle point downward?
It was like down to the side, so yeah, it wasn't pointing up. No, but it wasn't directly down. It was
Okay.
downside. Why? Oh my God.
Well, downward it symbolizes like descent, but upward always symbolizes like false ascension or like a counterfeit enlightenment.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, so that's why I asked you that because it's important to helping you. And we can talk off the air too.
Yeah.
We could talk about this. We could sit on here for hours and talk about this. This is fascinating. Every time we get to talk to you, it's a fascinating show because it's always like it goes by too quick.
Really quick, I want to tell you, I have a friend that's an experiencer that has, and he sent me the photo, the same triangle with three dots, the same one, but it was on his hand and mine was on the small of my back. So that's interesting. I don't know why. I haven't known him long, so he said a lot of people get it.
Again, it's a pattern. It's a repeated pattern showing that you are connected. I mean, and the fact that it's coming to you, that he has it. I mean, it's all just like a tapestry of connection.
Right.
You're going to have to come back because this podcast has kind of driven me a little bit nuts with the audio. So I really want you to come back in July if you can,
Okay.
and we'll do
Sure.
it again so we can, it'll be a better sound because I'm sure this rarely happens. So I apologize. When we go back to listen to it, maybe it won't be so much,
I think it's my phone. I really do. I'm sorry.
I don't know because then it's not happening with you, but then it's happening with Joshua. So maybe it's just whatever it is. It's okay. But I'm so thankful that you've been here with us.
Thank you.
And I was listening to the podcast you were on right before us this afternoon. That was very interesting too. And I noticed that he knew that Dr. Kelly. I don't know if he'd been on Dr. Kelly Renee Schutz before, so I'll have to look him up. That looked like a very interesting conversation you were having on that show too. So, werewolves are something and that's why I like what Lon is doing because he is finding out all kinds of things. It's just a wide spectrum. And here, I know you'd ask something about that here. Well, we have seen so many things in the sky. One time, Joe actually saw what he thought was like a dragon, but it was all in lights. And I missed it because I was like, I didn't see it, but I've seen so many things here. And one time, Tristan thought he saw like almost a dog man. This was probably in 2020. Running down the road. So to me, it's kind of like there's water underneath. And then we have the ley lines, and then we have the missile silos and all the deaths and things. So I think when you look at all the different areas that we're all living in, I think all of them crisscross. But I definitely think, even here in the desert, the water is underneath. Like we've got giant trees growing out there and there's no water. I'm not even watering those.
Right.
They're connected in the ground to the water tunnels that are under the ground. And I think that's what they do. They travel in the water through the molecular structure of the water. Anyway, I love this kind of stuff. Hey, I'm
I
not
wish
so
we could do a
crazy
longer.
anymore. I'm not considered crazy anymore because I hang out with people like you guys.
You're welcome. There you go.
Well,
Um,
Bishop Joshua, well, first, Lala, is there anything else you would like to say before we leave tonight?
just thank you very much for having me. This was real. I missed you guys, so this is really nice. So
Mhm.
We've missed you too. We're glad
thank
you're. We like to have you around a lot regular.
I
Yeah,
would love to. Yeah, thank you. Definitely.
yeah, that's what I mean. Now that like my losing my job, or I didn't lose it, but it it's over. I miss those people, like you, and I love hanging out with you guys. It's like you get used to people, and then all of a sudden they're
Mhm.
gone. So I really enjoy, communicating with you two, both of you. So
Wouldn't it be cool to have Lala, Charlie Romans, Lon Strickler on at the same time?
yeah, well, we could do it. We could
Wouldn't
do
that be
it.
so cool?
I think it would be great. In fact, I would love it sometimes too if like I'm really wanting to travel more, like later, like next year. Whenever it would be fun to like put our own Paracon together with all of our people.
Ooh,
Wouldn't
let's
that be
do it.
fun? Even if it was just for dinner and nobody came.
Let's do it.
Well,
Wouldn't
remember this. When I eat, everybody eats, and when I pay, everybody pays.
Well, it would just be fun someday, and I think it's coming. I get a feeling. I have a feeling it's going to happen next year.
Well, I'm
Mark
getting my
my
traveling
words.
shoes on. I'm
All
ready
right,
to
you
go.
guys. Well, why don't you go ahead and say a little prayer for us because we might need one tonight.
All right.
You're going to need one too because you did some work today
Oh, so
on
you call what I do work. Yeah, let's pray. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Heavenly Father, we ask for a special blessing tonight for Lala and for her son and for her friend, for special protection, God, that you would keep your hand upon them, that you would dispatch your angels to be there present, God, and to bring protection and light and safety, God, to them and their surroundings, God, to every family member that's attached to them, God, to Joe and Mercedes, and that you be with them, God, that you would bless their family, God, bless their little fur babies, oh God, that need a touch from you, God, and a healing, special touch, and everybody that's watching the program tonight, dispatch your angels to protect them, to keep their feet in the way, God, that they would be safe, their life be preserved, God, to live another day and enjoy your blessed world that you've given us to live in. Heavenly Father, we ask all these things through Jesus Christ, our Lord, who reigns with you and the Holy Spirit, one God forever and ever, world without end. Amen.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And you can hear probably Joe. I think that's Joe. Is that you, Joe? Yeah, that's Joe.
Hi, Joe.
And and we're going to be going to.
Hi, my
It's
friends.
Hey,
Lala.
young man.
Hi, Lala.
Hello.
It's Lala.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to San Francisco for the American Public Gardens Association National Conference. Holy cow! We get to show off our exhibit to the world.
Well, it's about time, right?
Yeah, yeah. That Iris the hummingbird's flying all the way in the back of my truck from Tucson to San Francisco and going to that convention. It's going to be special. Something special.
Well, you're an amazing artist. I see some of the things you've done. It's amazing, really.
I, I am blessed on multiple levels, and just my art's improving all the time. I'm thank you for that. Yes, I appreciate it. Yes, and good doctor, Joshua. Holy cow, I miss you, man.
I miss you.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you again.
Yeah. We will see each other in the future. My blessing.
Yes, we will.
Well, thank
Yes,
you for
we will.
showing up, Joe.
Hi,
It
everybody.
was awesome.
Blessings.
We love you, Joe.
Love you too.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much, Lala, for being here
You're
with
welcome.
us. Good
Thank
night.
you very much.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We love you all.
Yeah, and Lala will be back.
Very soon.